Welcome into this video. In this video, I want to share with you on how you can create a very responsive e-commerce website from scratch, step by step, using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Right, now you'll have a website which looks like this at the end, whereby we'll have this is an e-commerce website. We have this now this is a home page. This is now the home page. Before I show you the whole home page, you can see we have a background image here. We have certain information here for the brand and also the contact and also the social media icons here at this point. Okay, we'll also have now a very responsive now navigation bar at this point. Okay, and also a logo at this point. Okay, now if we scroll down, you'll have now some of the icons here, and whereby showing the support that we offer, also the hours open, refund guide, that. So also our featured project or product that we sell. So some of the project here, so you'll have now this is certain various and several product here. And also next part will also have a certain part or a section whereby we'll have now to show our customers how now we are offering now discount on product. And you can see that at this point you have a countdown, and it's counting to some days, so you can set to a particular date and the hours, and then you can also set the countdown to any time you want. Okay, now at this point now customers can shop at a 50% discount, or you can set to another percentage according to what we have. Another banner section whereby we have now this section. At this point you see now our brand is best dealers in. Okay, you see now when you place your mouse here, it shows a certain information and a text over the image. So you see this watches and accessories of official wear. This is fedora hats, okay, and all that. Okay, now after that we'll also have a section whereby we'll have now this is a footer, a very beautiful footer, but this footer has two sections. The first section at this point is having a subscribe, okay, whereby customers can subscribe to our newsletters and updates, okay, by entering just their image, or not image, sorry, so by entering their address, okay, and then they subscribe. All right, now this is now our very beautiful footer whereby you have now this is about section where here you can have several links and also the product, and also then the payment methods. Okay, now finally we have now this is the copyright section whereby we are showing now the copyright. Okay, we have said that this website is totally responsive. It's saying that this website is totally responsive. So this is how it appears on a small screen. This is how now it appears on a small screen. Right, okay, you see now this is how it appears on a small screen. Great, and then if you click here, it opens the menu to a certain width, and also you can click here to close. Alright, with this we can just get started. So we'll just I'll show you step by step on how you can create this kind of a website. Okay, first of all, you just need to go to your test entity. On my side, I'm using Visual Studio Code. You'll have now your HTML part and also your CSS. Okay, you see now at this point we have also linked the CSS at this point. Okay, now let's get started. At this point we'll have now to create a section. We'll need now to create a section. Okay, we can give it a class name which is header. We can give it a class name which is header. And then at this point we'll also need to create another div class, so called navigation. And also at this point we'll also need to insert, okay, sorry, this is what, okay, at this point we just need to insert an image, okay, and then we can say that our image here, I can just say that it's my logo. Okay, then after that we just need, just below the image here, we can have now another, sorry, so just below the image here we can have another div class, and we can call it menu items. Okay, then after this point we can have now, this is what, this is a URL. Okay, at this point you can have, this is what, this point you can have, this is okay, I can just copy this to several, and copy this to several. Okay, this is, you can change the names here, so you can rename this one to shop, blog. You can also say that this is what, about, say that next one is contact. Okay, at this point let's leave it. At this point we'll just insert a cat icon at this point. So with that you can just come back to your browser, and then you see now this is how now it appears. Okay, now after you're done with that, we can just go to our CSS part, and then you can start styling. So you see this is our CSS. We have now set the padding and all that to 0. Then we'll just need now to start with the class name header, this class. Yeah, you just need to copy this. Then at this point I just start with it and save it. We'll need now to set the height. You need now to set the height. The height you can set it to 10 VH. You can also set the width. You can also set the width to 100%. Okay. Also the position. You can also set the position to be relative. Okay. Now after that we just need to continue the style the next class name. Okay, the class name here is in the navigation, where it contains the logo and also the nav links. Okay, this point we can have the display. Set the display to be flex. Okay, so at this point you see now it's displayed in the form of a flex. Okay, now at this point we can say that the background color, okay, to be something like, okay, 3804D. Okay, this is now very similar to this. Then you can say that this is now, okay, this is how it appears. Okay, next we just need to set the height can set the height to be 70 pixels. Can set the justify content. Position. Okay, for the position it will be fixed. Okay, now when you scroll it will just remain at the same point. Okay, so the width is 100%. Also now the z index, so it will be just above for the elements. Okay, this is what you can set it to true. Okay, so this is how it appears. You see now. Okay, now the next part is to style now there. You can copy this class name, header, then we need to style the logo. Okay, we have a logo here. This is now our image. Okay, so you just need to style the image. Also at this point you can see that the width, you can set the width now to be something like 120 pixel, and also the height, you can set the height to be 65 pixel. Okay, now the next one is to style now the header URL, now whereby you're containing now the nav links and all that. So this one URL. Okay, at this point just need to say that display, it will be displayed in form of a flex. It will be displayed in form of a flex. And then the margin now will be set to 20 pixel, 10 pixel. Okay, you see now this is how it appears. Okay, now the next one is to style now there. Okay, you can just copy all this, just copy all that, then say that okay, this point you can say list style 9. Okay, so it will not be in any list style. Okay, so that one means that the dots and all the bulletin will be removed, so you just need to style the link now. At this point you can say that the text decoration, to be none, so the underlining and all that will be done away with. And then this is now the color of the link should be just white. Can set it to white. The font size, the size of characters can be just set to 18 pixel. Okay, you can also set the margin to be 0 at the top, 10 pixel at the right, also 0 bottom, and then 30 pixel left. Okay, this point you see now, this is how now your information appears. Okay, next we need now to set the padding. Can set the padding can set it to 8 pixel, 4 pixel. Can also set the border radius, to be 8 pixel, and also transition can set the transition to be 0.5 seconds. Okay, so this is how now it appears. Okay, the next part, the transition now, is to help now when you place mouse it transits smoothly. Okay, now you can just at this point we just need to add over. Now when you place a mouse over it, how should it now the background color changes, and it changes color to this color. You can just change to that color. Okay, so it means that when you place a mouse over it, now this is how Okay, it changed the background color. Okay, now we are at this point we are done with that, so we just need to add some and also change the information. You see now it appears some bad, you see the characters and all the text. We need to change the font size and all that. So to change the font size, you just need to go to the Google font at this point. Then you see at this point, you see now this is Google font. So you just need to come here and click on fonts. Okay. Okay, we have several fonts here, so you can choose either this. You can just choose this. Okay, at this point, just add that. Just click on the hard side. Then just need to come here. Just need to come here. Then copy all that thing. Copy that link, and then you come back to your HTML part. Then at this point, just below here, you can just paste the links there. Okay. Now with that, you can just come back here and then copy this. You can just copy any of these. Let's copy this, the font family. Then you just go back to your CSS part, and then at this point, you can just add it over there. Okay, so we can go back to our, then see how it appears. Okay, this is now how it appears now. You see, now the font size, I think it's nice, looking nice. Okay, it's readable. Okay, now the next one is to add an icon here for the shopping cart. So to add an icon, first of all, you just need to search for the Ford CDN. Okay, you can just forward some CDN stock. Okay, you can just okay, with that you can just come here and then click on this link. So it's copied. You can just come back to your HTML part, and then just below here, you can add a link, right? Sorry, this link rel, then you can just paste it there. Okay, so if you come back here, so you can search for some icons. You just need to add some icons. Okay, to add some icons, you just need to click on the folder with some icons. Then you can just come here and search for shopping cart. Okay. Okay, it is here. You can just click here. Then at this point, you can just copy this. Okay, go back to where we have now your HTML part, and then at this point, you say that at this point we'll need now to add some icon here. So you can just remove all this. You can just remove this. Then you go back here. So you click on refresh. You see the icon now is added here. Okay, now we are done with the top part, the navigation part. So you just need to add so if you see at this point, you need now to add some background image and also some information here. Okay, now to add all that, you just need to go back to your HTML part, and then just below here we need to add a section, and then the section The section will have a class name, and I can give it my box. Okay, let's give it my box. And then just below there, you need now to add some text box div class. Okay, now with that, we can add some heading one. Can add heading one and give it native fashion. Okay, at this point. Okay, now, okay, at also this point you can add another class name, which is, you can call it, let's call it image box. Okay, let's call it image box. Then at this point we can just add an image. Then this is what background image at this point. Then you can say set the width. You can set the width at this point to be 100%, and also the height to be 100%. Okay, so we are adding two type class in the same. So we have, okay, at this point you see now. Okay, we'll have now to style more the image and all that. So okay, now with that, we just need now to continue with in this text box class name. We need now to add several information there. We'll need now to add heading 2. But this collection will be in a span. Okay, so that this is a span. Okay, now after that, we just need to add a paragraph, p-tank, certain. Okay, this is now a paragraph tank, but at this point, you just need to add it into a span. So the span is to help this one to have a very different color from the others, so you can have that. Okay, now this is a span. So the next one is to add a certain div class just inside the text box. Just below here we can add another one. We can call it social links. Social links, where we have our social icons and also the contact information. Social links, you can just call it social links. Then at this point we'll have heading 3, and heading 3 will have now, this is our call or SMS. Okay, then at this point you can add a line break and say add a certain span at this point, and can say that this is what can give a certain name, a certain phone number there, and also another one can give another phone number there. Okay, now after that we'll also need to add a certain heading 4. This is now heading 4. Then you can say that follow us. Okay, then at this point we'll need now to add several links for the social icons. You can say that this is what Okay, so you can just copy them to several. Just copy them into several. So you can have one. Okay. Okay. Now with that, you can just come back here where we have we copied a certain. You can just copy this. Let's copy this from here up to here. So just use that. Then for this, you just need to copy to paste it there, and then you can change this one to be Facebook. Okay. So at this point, you can change the other one here to be WhatsApp. Next one to be Twitter. The other one you can change it to Instagram. Also, the lastly you can change it to the Telegram. Okay. Now we are adding some icons there. So if you come back and click on refresh, see that the information is added, and also the image is added at this point there. Okay. Now you just need to style this and for this to look good, it will look good Now to style this, you just need to go back to your CSS part, and then we just need to start with now the class name here for the section, which is my box, and then you can say that this is what the height. You can set the height to be 90 feet. Okay, you can also set the position. You can also set the position to be relative. Set the position to be relative. You can also set the display. You can set the display to be flex. You can also set the justify content. Space between. Okay, so at this point you see. Okay, see now it looks good. It looks good. The image has come to this side, and also the other information has come to the other side there. Now you just need to style this information over here, and then we'll start with the test box. Now this is a class name that contains all that information. And for this class name, we'll just need to this is test box. And at this point, we'll just need to set the margin. You can set the margin to be 100 pixel at the top, 0 pixel left, right. Okay, 100 pixel to the bottom, and also 50 pixel to the left. Okay, you can also set the padding. The padding will be set to 30 pixel. You can also set the test line to be center. Let's set to be at the center. You can also set the width and set the width to be 50%. Okay, the other one is set index. I'll set it to 1. Okay, let's refresh our information, and you see now this is how it appears. This is how now it appears. Good. We just need to continue. And we have a heading one here. Just need of fashions. So we just need to copy this class name here, then go ahead, say that heading 1, this is heading 1. Okay, font size, we have 65 pixel. The color is set to that color. You can also set the font weight to be bold. You can also set the margin bottom, which is set to 12 pixel. Okay, with that, you can just continue to the next one, which is heading 2. So we just need to heading 2, and at this point we can set the font size. The font size to be 36 pixel. You can also set the color. The color to be okay. Also the letter spacing, so the space between the letters or the characters. Letter spacing, you can say that letter spacing 3 pixel. Also margin bottom is set to 10 pixel. Okay, this is now it appears. This is how now it appears. So we have now our heading 2. But at this point, you will realize that we have a span in heading 2, which is collection. We have a certain span at this point. And then for this one, we just need to copy all this. Just copy this. We are trying to make it look beautiful. We are trying to make it look beautiful with a span class. At this point, you can set the color. The color you can set it to this color. Also the font size will be somehow big, like, then I can set it to 40 pixel. Okay, the next one is to style the paragraph, and at this point you can set the font size to be 17 pixel. You can also set the margin bottom. Sorry, this is margin bottom. Okay, 10 pixel. Okay, look at this, it looks good now. It looks good. Now we are at our next part, which is to style now there. We are now in this part whereby we have now social links, and then in between these social links now we have heading 3, heading 4, and also some links there. Okay, we just need to copy this class name here. Okay, and come here and then continue. This is heading 3. Let's start with heading 3, and at this point we can set the color. Set the color for heading 3 to be that color. You can also set the font size. The font size for heading 3 to be 20 pixel. You can also set the margin bottom. Margin bottom, and at this point it will be just 10 pixel. Okay, now at this point, if you click on refresh, see this is how now it appears. Okay, now you'll realize that we have a span. We have a span in the paragraph and also a span in our heading 3. Okay, we can just start with the span at this point which is add paragraph. So we can just copy this and then just below here and say that the span for the paragraph will be just a different color, which is green. It will be just green. And then at this point the font size will be somewhat big than the other paragraph. At this point you can set it to 22 pixels, and then you can set the font weight to be bold. Okay, we'll also realize that we have a span class for heading 3, whereby this is now the span. So at this point the span is whereby we contain now the information for the phone numbers and all that. So okay, now the span at this point will just have a different color. We'll have a color which is okay, and also we can set the font size to be something like 20 pixels. Okay, now the next one is to set now to style heading 4. Okay, we have now this is heading 4. For the social links at this point, you can set the color. The color will be set to that color. You can also set the font size. The font size will be just set to 24 pixels. You can also set the font weight. Which will be set to bold. And also margin bottom. Margin bottom will be set to 8 pixels. Okay. Look at this. Now it looks beautiful. Now the last part in this section, we'll just need to work on the links, which is the social icons. The social icons now. Now at this point we'll have now a font size. Sorry, this is a font size. Now the size will be 24 pixels. We'll also have a color. We can also set the color to be just black. Okay, you can set to that color. You can also have the margin. The margin will be just to set to 8 pixels, 0, and also 20 pixels. Okay, now with this you can just set the buffer effect when you place a mouse over it. So this is buffer, and then at this point you can say that the transform. This is transform. The transform will have a scale. You can set the transform to a scale which is 1.2. Okay, you see. Okay, this is now okay. This is okay. See now that it is not changing. So it should be icons, not the link. So it should have a high. Okay, so because the icons. Okay, so you're using this. Okay, that you can just come back and click on refresh. And you see now when you place a mouse, it changes. It transforms to 1.2. Okay, this is how it is appearing. This is how it is appearing. But if you click on inspect on a small screen, you see now it looks pathetic. It looks pathetic. It's so bad. It's looking bad. So we can style this. We can do this in simple line of code. We can do this and also add some button here, a bar or a menu, whereby when you click it opens the nav links. Okay, now with this we can do in a small links or using now the media. Okay, so you can say that at media. So you can set the max width. You can set the max width to be 67 pixel, and then at this point you can set the okay. Okay, we can start with the text box. This point is where audience are now contained. You can say that this text box can copy the class name there, and then say that this point we can say that the margin will reduce, and the margin will be set to 50 pixel 0. Okay, you can also set the tester line to be at the center, and also the width to be 100%. Okay, let's see how it is appearing. Now this is how it is appearing. This is how now it is appearing. Okay, now with that we can just continue. We can just continue in our next part is to start now the text box heading 1. Now to reduce the size of this heading 1 there, can reduce the font size. The font size we can set it to 30 pixel. Okay, you see now the information there is reduced, all that. So the next one is to reduce now the heading 2. The heading 2. Okay, the heading 2 will have a font size which is 26 pixel, and also the letter spacing will also reduce to be 1 pixel. Okay, now after that just need to copy all this. So this is span. So we have a span for heading 2, and at this point we just need to reduce the font size. The font size will reduce to 28 pixel. Okay, now with also that we'll also need to reduce the span, which is at a paragraph tag, and also at this point we'll reduce the font size to be at 22 pixel. Also we'll increase the font weight to be just bolder. Okay, Now just come here and click on refresh here. So this is how it is appearing. Okay, now with that we just reduce the sizes of the icons. So the icons here, the social links icons, and at this point we have now this is social icons. You can just copy that. Sorry, so this is, we should have a closing tag for media creator, and then we'll also need to reduce the font size. The font size for the links will be 22. Also the margin will reduce. The margin will reduce to 4 pixels, 0 and 10 pixels. Okay, with that you can just click on here and refresh. See, now this is how it is appearing. Now we just need to insert now the image. We have at this point we have a image box. We have an image box at this point, so you can just copy this class name and then you can just say that this is what image box, and then this is the image, and then we can say that the position will be absolute. The position will be absolute, and the left will be 0. Okay, so the image is set at this point, and also this one is also set. You see, now this is how it is appearing. Okay, with that you can also change the color of the icons here. Color of the icons to be just a pure white. Okay, so this is how now it is appearing. But you see now the navs links here are appearing bad, so you just need to style them and add some icon or bar. When you click on it, it opens and closes also the nav links. Okay, now to do that you'll just need to come back to your CSS part, and then at this point we'll start with the navigation. Then I just add menu items. Now we have now the navigation inside the navigation class name and also the menu item at this point. Okay, great. Now at this point we can say that the position will be absolute. You can also set the background color set to that color. You can also set the height, and also set, sorry, this is the height. The width is set to 200 pixels. Okay, and also at the top set to 0. Okay, right. Just align. Left. There. Okay, so we can have that. this is how it is appearing now. Okay, let's see. So we can set this on to page 0. Okay, you see now. Okay, with that you can just continue and then copy all this, copy that, and then you need to style the URL. The URL now, so by the display will be just in form of a block. Okay, so you can also copy. So this is URL, then the high, whereby you have now the margin bottom is set to 30 pixels. Okay, so this is how it is. It is appearing in form of a block, and margin bottom is also set, and all that. Now, the next one. So the next part, and most importantly, we need to add. We have already our menu, and it is appearing this way. So we just need to add a bar and a close button. So this is whereby when you click on it, it opens, and also when you. Okay, with that, to do that, you just need to come here to your. Just need to copy this. Just copy this. Then at this point, you just need to come to this point, just below here. You paste it there, and then you can add times. Okay, then we can add on click. It's here, hide menu. Okay, this is hide menu. Then you can copy all that. Again, just below here, you can add. This is bars now. And then you can say that show. Change this one to be show menu. Okay, so we've come back here fresh. Okay, they are appearing here. Okay, we'll also style that. Don't worry about that. Okay, the next part is to add an ID. The ID here will help us now styling now using JavaScript at this point. Okay, with that, you can just come. You see now this point, the icons are appearing. The icons are appearing at this point. So we can say that just outside the media, you can say that the navigation. This is navigation. Then F and the class name FA display none. Okay, we just need to hide them on a larger screen. We just hide them on a larger screen, and you see now they have been hidden. But you see, you'll realize that the icons here for the shopping cart has also been hidden. So to return it back, you can just come here and say that the style can add a certain style there, and then you can say that the display it will be inline. Okay, this is an inline. Okay, now with that, you just click on fresh, and you see now it has come back. Okay, so we have just inserted that for only the shopping cart at this point. Okay, now let's see it on a small screen, and then okay, On a small screen now, to make it visible, you'll just need to copy. You can just copy this, huh? Okay, just below here, you can just say that the display will be in form of a block. Also, the font size, you can say the font size at this point will be just 26 pixels. You can say then the color, you can set the color for the icon will be just white, And also the cursor will be pointer. Then we also have margin. You can set the margin around to be 10 pixels. Okay, let's click on refresh and see. So see now, this is now how it is appearing. Okay, with that you can just come here and then this is 200 pixels. So minus 2 pixels on right. So just disappeared. So we have our bar here, and then we just need now, you see now when you click here nothing happens. So we just need to add a certain JavaScript code whereby when you click on this bar it opens the menu and it also classes it. Okay, now with that we just need to go back to our HTML, and then just below here you can add a comment here and place, and this is JavaScript opening and closing out menu. Okay, so in between the script tag, we can say that furry navlinks. Navlinks is now the ID we've inserted here. We have inserted a ID here. Just copy this, then okay, this is what navlinks. Okay, I just copy that, and then this point will now have, this is what document get element by ID. Okay, at this point you can say okay, then you can use a semicolon at this point. So you can add a faster function, the first function which is show menu. And then at this point you'll realize that the navlinks, then you can style and right. When you click on the show menu, the right will be just at 0. Okay, be just a 0. So this is 0. You can just copy this. Let's copy that. Then at this point you can change the function to be hide menu, and at this point now the right side will appear, it will be just 200 pixel. Okay, so you can click on refresh, and you'll realize that if you click here it will open, if you click here it closes. Click here, you click here. Now to make it open smoothly, so you just need to add some transition to our CSS part. You just need to go to where we have now our navlinks. Okay, at this point whereby we have our this point you can add some transition. Now to make it open smoothly with just seconds. Then this point you can click on fresh. And you see, you'll realize that if you click here, it opens smoothly, and if you click here, it closes. If you click it opens and all that. Okay, we are done with the first section, which is now just the front part, or the background and all that, and also the navigation and all that. So you just need to continue to the next part, and probably the next part is what we'll now have to add this or this. These are 5 icons. Now to add the 5 icons, now just need to go back to your HTML part. Okay, this is just a service section, so you can call it. Okay, let's say that we have the class called services. Okay, let's call it services. This point just below the section. Okay, at this point we can also add the service column. Okay, and then we'll also have to add an image. You'll need now to add an image at this point. And then for the image, you can just below the image here, you can add an heading form, whereby first of all you can write 24/7 support. Okay, and at this point the image will be just, we have a certain image by that name. Okay, with that you can just copy this. You can just copy all that into several. You can copy that into several 5. Okay, with that, let's go back here and let's see. You see now the images have been added and all that. So okay, now we just need to change the images and also the information there. So now we've changed the information and all that. Then you can just come back here and click on refresh. So now the images have changed and all that. So the next part, and very important, is to style them and to make it, to align them, and to make them look good. Now we just need to go to our HTML part, and then at this point we'll just need to start with the class name, which is services. We just copy the class name there. Then at this point you can say that the services we can have a display. We'll have a display which is flex. Okay, first of all we say that display is flex, so it will appear this way. Now the next part is to add Flexbox. It will be just wrapper. Okay, now the next one is the position. The position will be just relative. You can also have the width, which is set to 100%. Sorry, this is 100%. You can also have the height. The height will be just auto. Then okay, now after that we have another class name, which is service call. Then at this point you could just set the width for the service call. At this point you can set it to 80 pixels. The height also to be 180 pixel. And also set the background to be set to be okay. You can also have the border radius which is set to 80 pixel. Also the margin, you can set the margin to be 10 pixel, 20 pixel. Okay, so let's click on refresh and see. So you see now this is how it is appearing now. Okay, the next part is now to we have this class name. So we have the image. So we have the image inside each call. So this image is here. Okay. Now the image, you can set a width to be just 100%. Let's set the image to be, but the height, you can reduce the height to be 140 pixel. Okay. Now the next one is to have now the service call heading 4. Head 4 is now, so we have this certain information here. Okay, the heading 4 here will be just we'll have a color which is okay, and also the font size will be just 22 pixels. Let's click on refresh here and see now the image has reduced and all that. So you see, okay, this is how it is appearing. Now the next one is now to add when you place a mouse over the service call. Okay, I just copy this class name. Now when you place a mouse over here, so this is offering. Now the opacity changes to 0.5. Okay, this is what we mean by opacity. So when you place mouse over here, so you see now the opacity is changing and all that. Now this part and the next section is to have featured product. We have our featured product here. So this is okay. We need now to add a certain section. Just below this part, you can add another section. This is just a section, and we can give it an ID with shop. Okay. Then at this point you can have heading word. You can say that this is featured. Product. Then just below that you can add another paragraph. Added a paragraph. Then just below that you can just add a class name or a div class which is container. Okay, just inside the container you can have a card. Then that card will have now another just image box. You can have an image box at this point. Then you can insert an image. You can suggest say watcher. Just to say watcher and all that. Okay. Now we have added a certain information there, and then just below this class name image box there, we'll need now to add a heading 3. The heading 3, you can just say that this is a watch. Okay, we'll say that this is a watch. Then we'll need now to add certain paragraph, and say, let's say you can say that this is my favorite watch. You can just say that this is a good watch for men. Okay, now because you are so general, so we're just adding certain information there, and then at this point, so with this you can just come back to your website and then click on fresh. You see that the image is added, and so certain text is added over there. Okay, you can just continue. And at this point we can also write another dev class. You can add a dev class which is price. Now here we'll have a price. Now inside the price class name, you can have heading 5. You can just set it to 50.5, which is now in dollar. Okay, now after that, just after this, you can have a span. Just have a span, and at this point, for this span, I just copy this effect class, fact class, and then just paste it there. Okay, now after that, I just say that this is a shopping cart. So this is a shopping cart. Okay. So with that, I just click on fresh. See now the shopping cart and also the cost for this watch is added. So the next part is to work on the styling it. So we just need to start with the shop. So we just need to copy this ID, and at this point, so you can start with the ID. You can start with the position. So the position to be relative. The width 100%. The height should be how tall. Okay. Also the margin. You can also set the margin. Just set to 10 pixel top and bottom, and the auto right and left. Okay. Now with this, I just copy this. Then you can say that this is heading 1. We have a heading 1 here, which is featured product. See if I can start with the color, and also the font size. You can also have the font size, which is set to 50 pixel. You can also have the font width. You can also have the font width, the bold. So have test align at the center. So we have a paragraph. At this point, this is a color. I can set the color to be that color. You can also have the test align. center line to be at the center. Also letter spacing 4 pixels. And also set the font size. And also set the font size to be something like 22 pixels. Okay. Rest, can set it to 20 pixels. Okay. Okay, this is how it is appearing now. This is how now it is appearing. Now we just need now to style now the card or container. Now we just need to copy this class name container. Let's start with it. At this point, we'll have now the container, we'll have our display. We'll have our display. Just flex. It will be displayed in forward flex. Then the flex wrap will be just wrap. Can also have margin around 10 pixels. Great. And the next one is to start now the card. Okay, now the card is where we contain all other information, the images and all other text there. Okay, for the card, now the card will have a width. We'll have a width which is 300 pixels. Can also have the height which is auto. Okay, the background this color. We'll also have the border radius to be just set and 10 pixels. Also the margin now. Margin will be set to 10 pixel top and bottom and 15 pixel right and left. Okay, now let's click on fresh. See, now this is how it is appearing now. Okay, now the next part is just to style the card, and also now the image box. The image box, so we have the image and all that. So we need now to copy that. Then at this point, I just paste it there. Then we'll have to start with I just start with the image box. And at this point, we can set the image box, the width, whereby the width is set to 280 pixel. Can also set the height to be 250 pixel. Can also set the padding left. It's also set to 20 pixel. Sorry, this is the height. Sorry, this is height. Should be 250 pixel. Okay, padding left will be just that. So you can just copy the class name here. Then this is an image. Now the image will be just the width. We'll have a width. So should have a width which is 100%. Then this is 100%. Then the height will be just 230 pixel. Then the border, we'll just have a border which is set to 4 pixels solid, then should be white. Okay, let's click on version. Now you see this is how it is appearing now. See how it is appearing now. Okay, with that we can continue. The next part is by we have heading 3, so it is inside the card. So okay, we can just say that card heading 3. Okay, at this point now heading 3 will have now the font size. The font size which is set to 24 pixel. You can also have the color which is set to that color. Okay, you see now how it is appearing. Now the next part is to work on this class name here. So work on the class name here, which is price. So it's just okay. Now we'll have a margin. Around which is 10 pixel. We also have a display. Now it will be displayed in form of a flex, and in the between there we'll have justified content. We'll have okay. Now it's displayed in form of a flex. Okay. Now with that, I just continue and say that we have now inside the price we have a heading 5 and also a span class which has our shopping cart. So we have heading 5. Now at this point I just copy this, then this is heading 5. You can see that we have float. The float is left. Okay, the font size is 24 pixel. Can also have the color. It's just black. Okay, just copy this. Then can also change this to be spanner. Can have the float to be just to the right. Just at the cursor, and the padding around will be just 5 pixels, and also the border radius you can set it to 50%. Okay, now you can just copy this. When you place a mouse over the span now, you can say that you place a mouse over the color will be just white, then transform, can just 1.1. Then we also have the background changing. The background should be changed to. Right, now I can click here and refresh. See now when you place your mouse here, now see it's changing. It's changing. But you see now this paragraph here. Okay, the paragraph here, it has taken the effect for the other paragraph on this pattern. So at this point, I can just add a style. Just add a style. Then I can reduce the font size. The font size be just something like 18 pixel. Also the letter spacing. Letter spacing be just 2 pixel. Okay, and also the text align. Text align be just left. Okay, now this is how now it is appearing. We've changed and all. We've changed everything now. See now it looks good. Now we just need to copy this into several. Just need to copy this into several. And to do this, you just need now to copy from here up to there. Okay, with that, I just come here and paste it. Okay, just click on fresh. You see now the images have been added into several columns or to several rows. Okay, you can change the images and all that, and also the. Okay, we have changed the images and all that, so you can click and click fresh. See the images have changed. Okay, so this is what we have a certain image here which is not 3. Okay, let's see. This is what. Okay, I just changed the image to something else. There's a problem with this. Okay, there's a problem. Where's the problem? Okay, you see now it has changed and all the information. You can change the prices and all. There's a test of this, and I was just showing you how you can do it. Okay, now we are done with this part. We just need to go to the next part. And then next part is whereby we have a save. Now we can say you can a section whereby you have a discount. The customers are receiving discount, and also we have a countdown. Okay, now with this, let's go back to our HTML. Let's go back to our HTML part. Now just below here, just below this section here, you can add a class name which is save. Okay, then at this point you can add a save test. Okay, over the save test, and then you can have heading 3. Heading 3, and then this heading 3, you can give it an ID. Let's give it an ID. Just count. Okay, I'll show you where we will use it. We'll use it to include or to add the countdown. Okay, at that point. Okay, just below that we'll need now to have heading 1, and then we can say add some information there. Okay, we added button or heading 1, which is receive 50% discount on all product. Then we'll need now to add a certain button here, then which is in shop now. Okay, in between the button tags. Okay, we're just done with that, so you just need to style it. Okay, to style it, you'll just need to start with the save. Okay, just below here, we need now to add this. Then we'll say that when tighten 100%. We'll also have the height, which is set to auto. You can also set the tester line. Tester line will be at the center. You can also have the margin. Which is set to 10 pixel top and bottom, and auto right and left. Okay, background. Background. So this background image. You can have URL whereby it will be just we have a certain image, then you can say the background size. Background size will be just cover. Background position. And also have the font weight. The font weight for all the information that will be contained there, it will be bold. Okay, let's click on fresh. Click on fresh. So you see now, this is now it is appearing. Okay, now the next part is to work on heading 3. Heading 3 is now here where we have now ID count. Okay, I'll show you just in that, but you can just style it, and then it will have a padding top. It will have a padding top which is 50 pixel. Okay, the font size will be just 40 pixel. You can also have the color which is set to that color. You can also have margin bottom 10 pixel. Okay, the next part is to style now the heading 1. The heading 1 now is this one, which have received 50% discount. And then for this, you can just set the color. The color will be just set to that color. You can also have the font size. The font size is set to 60 pixel. You can also have the margin bottom, which is set to 10 pixel. next part is to style the button here. This button here. We have the button, and for the button we'll have a padding which is 15 pixels. We can have the font size 26 pixels. You can also have the color, which is that color. The background color set to this color. Okay, we'll have the outline. We'll remove the outline. Say none. Sorry, this is none. The border be just 0. Or the border radius be just 10 pixels. And we'll also have the cursor. The cursor will be just pointer. We'll also have margin bottom. Margin bottom be just 15 pixels. We can also set the transition to make it transit smoothly. So transition will be just this second. Okay, let's click here and fresh. So you see now it is appearing. Okay. Now for this one you can add offer when you place over event. So when you place mouse over it, so we can have the background changing. The background changing to be that. The color changes to white. Okay, so we love that. So it means that when you place a mouse over this, so the background, you see background is changing and all that. So the next part we have remained to to add a countdown at this point. Where we have now heading 1 or heading 3, no sorry, heading 3, and I have an ID which is count. Okay, to do that we'll just need to add a certain JavaScript here. Okay, we'll need to add we can add a comment here. Say that this is JavaScript code for countdown. Okay, now to do that we'll just need to add in between the script tag. Okay, in between the script tank, we have added certain JavaScript here. At this point, you can see that we are setting the dates that you're counting down to. You can set, or on my side, I've set into September 2022, and then you'll have 000. So, okay, then you'll have to update the countdown every second. To do that, you'll need now to create a variable, which is variable head. You can say that set interval function, and then at this point you can say that this is now get the time. Now here it will be getting the time to this date. So this is to date data. And then at this one you can need now to calculate the distance between now and countdown date. Okay, now this one you need now to calculate the variable distance, which is equals to countdown date minus now. Okay, that calculates the time for minutes, hours, and seconds. So this is just a simple calculation using the math function. And at this point, you can see that this one we calculated for the days, which is now 1000 milliseconds times this one, which is seconds. This is times minutes, seconds, and hours. So it gives you a day. Okay. And also the other one is just millisecond times seconds times minutes times hours divided by 1000 times minutes and second, then gives you hours. So you calculate also for this. So it means that this is 1000 times 1000 milliseconds times 60 seconds, or 60 minutes times 60 seconds, then gives you 1 minute. So you divide by 60, or 1000 times 60 seconds. Okay, it gives you minutes. Also the other one is just, it means that this is minutes. Okay, the milliseconds times seconds divided by 1000 gives you 60 seconds. Okay, so that is 1 second. Okay, that is calculating time for minutes and all that. So the output for the countdown on screen using ID code. So we have added an ID here, which is count. We have added an ID here, which is count. Now using the count, now the information that will be displayed. Now using the ID counter. Now HTML should display what? Days, hours, and also minutes and seconds. Okay, now we'll have now to add that output when the counter is finished. Okay, when the countdown will be finished, now it should say that countdown timer finished. Okay, now with that, you can just go back to your browser here at this point and click on refresh. Now let's see now. Sorry, this is what. Okay, we've added an ID here, which is count, and the other one is count. So you see, should display counter, and here we have said that this is count. So I think this we need to change that. Sorry for that. Okay, you just need to come here and click refresh. See, you can see now the countdown is started working on your website. Now we are done with this section. We are done with this section. So the next section is to work on the banner section. The banner section, whereby we have some information, and when you place a mouse, you can see that some information is displayed there. Okay, now to do this, just need to go back to your HTML part. So just below here, we'll need now to add a certain section. We need to add a certain section at this point, and then you can call the section banner. Let's call it a banner. Okay. Now, just below that, or inside that, now we'll need now to add, okay, heading to best dealers in. Okay, you can say that heading to. Okay, inside this, we'll need now to have banner container. Okay, this is banner container. Sorry, this is container. This is container. Okay, now inside the container, we can have another div class and call it banner card. Okay, after that, we can have now an image. We can insert an image at this point. You can say insert the image, and the image you can say that the first one is watches. Huh? Okay. And at this point we can also have another dev class and then call it overlay. Let's call it overlay, and inside this one we'll have some tests. We'll have need to have some tests. You can give it name, which is watches, and accessories, and accessories. Okay, now we are done with that. We just need to go direct to styling, and to do that we just need to copy this class name here, which is banner, then just below here so it's banner heading 2. We can start with the banner heading 2 at this point. And under this we can say that the height, okay, not the height, sorry, the test align will be at the center. The font size, we just set it to 42 pixels. You can also set the color to be this color. You can also set the body weight to be bolder. Okay, next one is to work on the banner container. We have our banner container. I just copy this, and just here you can just work on this and say that the margin is set to 15 pixels top and bottom, and out of left and right. We saw display will be just flex. We can also have flex wrap. We just wrap. Okay, can also have justify content should be at the center. Okay, now after you're done with that, you can just come here and copy the card. Now where we contained all the information, the images, and also the test and all that. So we can just say that the banner card, the position will be just relative. You can just set the position to be relative. The width set to 200 pixels. You can also have the margin. The margin is set to 10 pixels. Okay, all around there. Okay, we are done with that. Think with that, I just come back here and click on refresh. Okay, you can see that this is how it is appearing now. Okay, now we can continue and say we have we need to copy this banner class name at this point and start with an image. We have an image in this card, so we have an image here. So we can start with the image and set the display for the image. It will be just a block. Okay, we'll have the hint. Hint is set to 100%. Okay, we'll also have the height. The height which is set to 150 pixels. Now, the next one is to work on the overlay. This class name here, overlay. You can just copy this and then just come here, then work on this. The overlay, the position is just absolute. the position is just absolute. Can also have bottom, just to set to 0%. Left, can just set it to 0. Right, set it to 0. Background color, okay. Can also have overflow, which is hidden. Great. Then we can also have the width, it's 100%. Can also have the height, which is 0. Can also have so we're done with that. Okay, let's continue the style now, the banner card. You can just copy the class name there, so that this is the next one is test. Now this is a test we have here. Okay, you can see that at this point the color will be just white. The font size is just 20 pixels. Position, absolute, no left. So have test align, it will be at the center. Top will be just 50%. Also left be just 50%. Then transform, left translator, just negative 50%, negative 50%. Okay, now we just need now, when you place mouse over the banner card, which is mouse over. Now we want now when you place a mouse over the banner card, now it should display what? It should show overlay, the overlay class, which is set to the bottom. The bottom will be just 0, and then the height will be just 50%, just half of the image. Just click here and refresh. You see? So now when you place a mouse, the overlay class is displayed over, and the text and all that is displayed over. See now? But we can add some transition here to make it move smoothly, and to do that, we can just come to where we have this is now this point, the overlay. We can add the transition here, and you can see that it's 5 seconds. So you see now it is changing smoothly. see it's changing smoothly. So to do that, or you can just copy this. I just copy this up to here, to several, into several. Okay. We have copied it into several. We have copied it into several. So you can change the images and also the text. Great, you have changed the images and also some text. So you can go back and click on refresh. You will find that we have changed the new place here, the image, also the text we have changed, also the all that. Great. Now with that, I just continue and the next section. And before we proceed to the next section, we can just check this how it appears on a small screen. You'll find that it's totally responsive. This is how it appears. This is how it appears on a small screen. Okay, if you just need to reduce the sizes of the images and also the text here over here, you can just reduce it. But it's looking awesome. Okay. Now the last part in our today's tutorial is just to work on the footer. We are remaining with only the footer, and we'll just need to continue here just below this section. We need now to insert footer. Then we can start with the newsletter, whereby we'll need now to add a certain button where you can subscribe to our newsletters. So this is a class name which is newsletters, and for this one you can add another one which is test. You can add a class name which is test, and for this test we can add heading 3, where you can say that. So we've added heading 3. We'll also need to add a paragraph that says you'll frequently receive email from us. So this is just a paragraph. Then after that, we'll also need, or just below that class name for the test, you need now to add, which is a form. You need to add a form. You can add a form. In this form, we'll have an input type. Which is similar. Okay, you can have the name, which is email. You can have placeholder. And email ID. Okay. Then after that, you can just add it to be required. So this one, it means that it will be mandatory for you to insert that email before you subscribe. Okay, after that, you'll need now to add a button. The button type be just submit. Then you can say that here, you can say that subscribe. and write subscribe. So okay, you see that we have added some subscribe and also that, and you see that this is what, okay, subscribe, and we have added some information there. Okay, we just need to go back to our CSS. Just need to go back to our CSS and style it. So we'll start with the footer, and you can say can have the height, which is auto. Can also have the background color. Can also have the margin top 15 pixel. Now this is how it is appearing now for now. So we can start with the class name here, which is newsletter. Just copy this. Just copy this. Then at this point, you can say that the width will be just 100%. Okay, the height, you can set it to auto. And also the background color will be just set to this color. Can also have display, so the information there will be displayed in form of a flex. And we'll also have the flex wrap. Sorry, this is flex wrap. It will be wrap. Okay, and then bunching bottom will be just 15 pixel. So we just need to proceed. Say that we have a test here, class by the name test. So it's inside the newsletter, and then we'll have a class name which is test. So we can say that margin, so to have a margin around which is 20 pixel. Okay, so let's click on refresh and see how it appears. Disappearing. Okay, this is how it is appearing now. Okay, now let's continue and work on the heading 3, which is inside the class name test. So I can just copy this. This is heading 3, and we can say that heading 3 will have a font size which is 28 pixel. The color will be just that color. Then the font weight will be just bold. Okay, next part is to work on the paragraph tag inside the test class name. Then you can set the font size. The font size will be just 17 pixel. Let's say 17. 17 is enough. You can also set the color. The color will be just this color. Okay, now the next part, you can just click on refresh and see how it is appearing. So you see how it is appearing now. So the next part is to work on the form part, the form. Now we have a form here, so we are working on the form, and you can see that the form will have a display. You can say that a display which is flex. Okay, and the flex basis, sorry, this is flex basis, and you can say that this is 50%. You can also test the tester line will be just at the right side. You can also set the margin, which is set to 10 pixels. To the top and 30 pixel right and left. Okay, now the next part is to work on the newsletter form inputter. We are working on the input where we have the email and all that. So the display is a block. Let's say the padding 20 pixel 0. The width will be just 80%. You can also have the height set to 10 pixel. Margin set to 20 pixel top and right, and 0 left and right. You can have the border set to 0, and also border radius. Set the border radius to 10 pixel. Font size, the font size to 20 pixel. Okay. Okay, you see now. You see now how it is appearing. So you can enter your email ID there. So your next part is to start the button. To start the button. So you just need to come here and copy all this. So just below here. Sorry. Okay. So this point you can say the border will be just 0. The outline will be none. You can also set the position. Position will be relative. You can also set the background. You can also set the cursor. Also have the margin around which is set to 10 pixel. You can also have the color. You can also have the font size set to 20 pixel. Then you can also have the padding. You can also set the padding to 0 and 20 pixel right and left. Okay. You can also have the font weight. Sorry, this. click here and refresh. You see now, this is how it is appearing now. The button itself. We have seen that we can change the trans. Okay, when you place a mouse over it, how should it appear? Or then it so a mouse over it, then you can see that transform scale, which is 1.1. Okay. So when you place a mouse over it, you see now, this is how it is appearing. Okay. Now the next part is to work on is to add some information there. So you see it like we have now the logo here, we'll have the brand name here. Also have some location and contact information, we'll have about product and also payment methods. So finally we'll also have what we call copyright information. Okay, now to do that you just need to go back to your HTML part. Just below the div class here, you can add another div class there and then call it footer container. After that you can have footer call. Okay, just inside the footer call you can add certain image here. Then you can see that this is my logo. Okay, then after that you can now fade into, and you can see that this is into fashions. Okay, you can have paragraph 1, which is this. Also can add a line break at this point, and then this point can add another paragraph whereby just a conductor. You can say that conduct, you can give some numbers. Okay, that's certain numbers. We can just copy this footer call, the whole class name of the footer call from there, and you just need to paste it. Let's paste it into 2. Let's paste it into 2. But for this one, I just delete the all information. At this point, you need now to add, heading 2 and call it about. And after that, you need now to add a URL. And at this point, you need now to some links, and at this point you can say that about us. You can add some, copy this to several. Okay, we've added some links and changed the information there. So you can also copy this. You can just copy this, all of this, just the whole of this, and then this point you'll need now to paste it there, and then you can change this one, the information here, to be added to product, change it to product, and at this point we need to change the information here. Okay, we have changed the heading and also some information inside there. And also for this one, I just delete it. Just delete it. I'll show you how I'll do with it. So this point just needs now to add the class name here. I can change it to something else. We'll call it payment. Let's call it payment instead of footer call. And then inside there we can add heading to. Can have heading to. Then we can call it payment methods. Okay, then with that we can just say a certain length. Then inside there we can search the image. Then we can copy this into several. We copy this into 4. And then for this one, the image will be just the image will be just person image. And also change it onto visa. Also have that. And then is Mastercard. Over there, then is PayPal. Good. Now you are done with that. Just go back on the click on refresh. Click on refresh here. And you will realize that you've added. Now this is now your footer. This is now your footer. You've added these and all that. So we just need to style it. We just need to style it so that it may look good. Now it's pathetic and it looks so bad. Let's style it. So let's go to our. I just come back at this point. We can start the footer call. Then we'll just need to paste it here. And we'll start with it and we'll say that display will be just a flex. We also have the flex wrap. It will be just wrap. Then we can add some margin bottom, which is 20 pixel. Amazing. So after that we have some footer paragraph. You can start that with that. You can say that the font size is just 17 pixel. You can also set the color. Which is set to this color. Okay. Now you can proceed to the footer call. So you can just copy this class name, footer column. Okay, you can just say this and it'll be just the same as that for the payment. So you have a class name here, another payment will be just the same. So you can say that this point. So you can set the margin to auto and 60 pixel. Okay, you can also set the justified content. need now to come back here. You have a class name which is footer call. Then at this point we have an image which is logo. So we can have the image at this point. Sorry, this one you just need to paste them. Then we'll say that the image at this point will be just a width, which is 120 pixel. Then we'll also have the height, which is 70 pixel. Sorry, this is pixel. Okay, we'll also have now to style now the heading 2, which is in footer call. Also at this point we also have footer payment or the payment heading 2, which should be the same. So we have a class name here which is payment. So I need to paste it there and say heading 2. This is footer call heading 2, and also payment heading 2. Okay, should have a color, should have a common color, which is that white. Also the font size set to 26 pixel. Great. Now at this point we can just go back to our browser and click on refresh. See what is appearing. So you see the information is now looking someone good. You have the URL and all that. Okay, now we just need to continue, and for this one we'll just need to, you see, for these two about and the product we have the URL. So we just need to copy this, which is footer call, and then under this we just need to have a URL, and the URL will have a list style. So to remove the bulletin and all that will just be none. Then the display will be just a blocker. You can set the display to be block. Okay, what if we copy this and then we need to style the links, So for the links at this point we can set the padding. Let's set the padding to 10 pixel 0. Great. You can also have set the font size. The font size is set to 17 pixel. You can also have the color which is set to this color, and also the text decoration which is set to none. You see, now it's looking good. Now we just need, now when you place a mouse over it, what should it happen? Okay, now when you place a mouse, the hover effect will have now text decoration. Let's say that text decoration underline, so it will be just underlined there when you place a mouse. So let's refresh and say, you see, now when you place a mouse it is underlined. Okay, now the next part is to work on the now the payment column, whereby we have the class name column payment. So needs now will directly go to work on the images. The images are so big, So we can select the image and sorry, there's problem here. Position should be payment image. Okay, we are setting the margin to be 10 pixels top and right, or top and bottom, and 5 pixels right and left. Okay, we can also set the width. For the image, which is set to 50 pixels, and also the height will be set to 30 pixels. Okay, now we just need now when you place mouse over the image, now how should it behave? So the buffering on the image, and we'll have now the transform scale, and then it will be 1.1. Okay, now let's go back here and click on fresh. You'll see now that we have now, you see, when you place mouse, it's transforming 1.1. Okay, now the next one is to work on the copyright, and for the copyright is just below here. We need now to add a paragraph at this point, and we will have to say that interversion. You can add this, that's the copyright sign, and then you can say that right reserved. Okay, then you can say that Canada here there. Okay, let's refresh and see. Okay, you see that the information is added just below here, so we can just style it. And for us to style it, we just need to add a footer, and at this point is paragraph, and I will have now the font size. The font size will be just 20 pixels. The color will be white. Also just align, be just at the center. Okay, it will be just at the center. Let's click in fresh. So you see it is centered here. Okay, you see now, so we are done with our website, the side of for presentation. Now you can look and you see that the website is looking amazing. It's looking amazing. So we just need now, and if you click on inspect, you will realize that the website is fully responsive. You will realize that the website is fully responsive. Okay, you see, it's fully responsive. Now, thank you guys for watching. My name is Philip. Remember to subscribe, like our video, and leave a comment for encouragement. Let's meet in our next project. Thank you.